my God, why have you forsaken us? Why are you so far from saving us? So far from our cries of anguish? Oh my God, they cry out to you, day by day without answer, and at night with no rest. I know you're facing an unrelenting life right now. Every day brings a new wave of struggle, and every night is filled with endless questions and fears. You're at a point where it feels like you're crying out, but it seems like no one is answering. You're feeling isolated, and it's hard to see any end in sight. It's tough, and yet you don't feel it by yourself. You ask, why is this happening? And where is the relief? Sometimes it feels like you're utterly alone in your pain, like the weight of your troubles is crushing you from all sides. You might feel scorned and mocked as if the whole world is against you. But even in these moments, there's something powerful to remember. You're not the first to feel this way. Sometimes, everything is falling apart like you're surrounded by a relentless storm with no one to turn to and nowhere to go. The feeling of abandonment, the exhaustion that makes it seem like you're at the end of your rope, is a heavy burden. Yet, this is where you need to find your strength and where your faith can shine the brightest. When you're at your lowest, feeling poured out and broken, it's easy to believe you're entirely alone. But that's precisely where God's strength can be most evident. In these moments of intense pain and your tongue is dried up and you're in the dust of death, even when you feel like your heart is melting like wax and your strength is gone, know this: God's presence is still with you, even if it feels distant. As in the times, even when it seemed like God was far off, He was there, working behind the scenes. When everything seems to be falling apart, when you feel like the enemies are closing in, your bones are on display, and your energy is burnt, God is still present. He sees you, He knows your struggle, and He is not indifferent to your pain. Your feelings of being scorned or despised don't define you. They don't determine your worth or your future. God's presence and His promises are what truly matter. Even when you feel surrounded by nothing but darkness, God's light is still there. It's in these darkest moments that God's promises stand firm. His promises are not just words, but a foundation you can rely on. Remember that God has been with you from the beginning, even when you feel like you're being mocked and abandoned. He has walked with you through every high and low. Just as He has been faithful to others in their times of need, He will be faithful to you. He has not despised or ignored your suffering. Instead, He is close to the brokenhearted and will lift you when you're down. Don't let the current situation make you lose sight of the bigger picture. Your faith is powerful, even when it feels small and fragile. It's your faith that will carry you through this. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness, and His grace is sufficient for every trial you face. Your struggle is real, but it's not the end of your story. There is hope, and there is a future beyond this pain. Keep holding on. Keep pushing forward. Your endurance and faith are like muscles that get stronger the more you use them. Trust that God is working, even when you can't see it. He is preparing you for a future filled with hope and purpose. There will come a time when you look back on this period of struggle and see how God's hand guided you all along. You are not alone in this. God is with you every step of the way, and your faith will see you through this storm. Stand firm, keep praying, and hold on to the belief that this battle is part of a bigger story of victory and redemption. You've got this, and God's got you.